This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to Max and Mia, the podcast where learning English feels natural and fun.
Hi there, I'm Mia, and as always, I'm here with my co-host Max. How's your day going so far, Max?
Pretty good, Mia. Actually, that's perfect timing because today we're diving into something we all do every single day, our daily routines.
That's right. Now, you might be thinking, oh, talking about my daily routine sounds easy. But here's the thing. When someone actually asks you, what's your typical day like? Or, walk me through your morning routine, many of us freeze up. We suddenly forget all those useful phrases and expressions.
Exactly. It's one thing to know the words wake up, brush teeth, and have breakfast. But it's totally different to tell an engaging story about your day that actually sounds natural and interesting.
So today, we're going to help you master this essential skill. We'll share practical phrases, natural expressions, and real-life examples that will make describing your routine feel effortless.
Plus, we'll cover those tricky questions people love to ask, like, are you a morning person? Or, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? By the end of this episode, you'll feel confident talking about your daily life in English.
And don't forget, listeners, in the description below, you'll find a free PDF with today's complete transcript and practical exercises to help you practice everything we discussed today.
Trust me, you'll want to grab that PDF. It's going to be super helpful for your English practice. So, are you ready to transform the way you talk about your daily routine?
Let's get started. So, Max, let's start with the beginning of the day. What's your morning routine like?
Well, I usually wake up at 6:30 a.m. Now, listeners, notice I said wake up, not get up. These are different. Wake up means your eyes open and you become conscious. Get up means you actually leave your bed. So I wake up at 6:30, but I don't get up until 6:45.
That's a great distinction, Max. I do the same thing. I wake up around 6:15, but I stay in bed for a few minutes. Now, when someone asks, what time do you wake up? You can answer with either time, but it's more natural to say the time you actually open your eyes. Don't say I wake up at 6:30, but I get up at 6:45, unless someone specifically asks for both details. It sounds too complicated.
Exactly. So after I get up, the first thing I do is make my bed. Now, we say make the bed, not do the bed or fix the bed. This is a fixed expression. M-A-K-E the bed. Make the bed. Can you repeat that, listeners?
That's so important. And making your bed is a great habit. After I get up, I immediately go to the bathroom. Now, be careful with this word, bathroom. In American English, we can say, I'm going to the bathroom, even if we're just brushing our teeth or washing our hands. But in some cultures, this might sound strange because bathroom literally suggests taking a bath.
Good point, Mia. In more formal situations, you can say, I need to use the restroom, or I'm going to wash up. These sound more polite and clear. Now, in the bathroom, I brush my teeth. That's B-R-U-S-H, brush. And I wash my face with cold water.
Cold water? That sounds refreshing. I prefer warm water. Now, listeners, when describing your routine, use the present simple tense. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. Don't say I am brushing unless it's happening right now while you're speaking.
Perfect grammar tip, Mia. After the bathroom, I take a shower. Now, we take a shower in English, not make a shower or do a shower. Take a shower. This might seem strange because we're not literally taking anything, but that's just how we say it in English.
And here's something interesting. In British English, they often say have a shower instead of take a shower. Both are correct. I generally take a shower every morning, and it usually takes me about 10 minutes. Notice I used take twice, but with different meanings. Take a shower, and it takes me 10 minutes.
Great observation. Now, after my shower, I get dressed. We say get dressed, not put on clothes when we're talking about the general action. Put on is for specific items. I put on my shirt. I put on my shoes. But for the complete action, it's get dressed.
Exactly. And please don't say, I dress myself. That sounds like you're talking about a small child learning to dress. Adults simply get dressed. Now, after getting dressed, I usually have breakfast. What about you, Max?
I have breakfast too. But here's an important tip, everyone. We say have breakfast, have lunch, and have dinner. Not take breakfast or make breakfast. You can make breakfast when you're cooking it, but when you're eating it, you have it.
That's a crucial distinction. For breakfast, I usually have cereal with milk or toast with jam. Now, when someone asks, what do you have for breakfast? Don't just say food. That sounds rude. Give some details like, I usually have cereal, or I often eat toast with butter.
And here's a cultural tip. In English-speaking countries, it's normal to ask about someone's eating habits. So if someone asks about your breakfast, they're just being friendly, not nosy. You can answer, I usually have, or I typically eat, or most mornings I have.
That's right. Now, while having breakfast, I also check my phone for messages and news. But be careful with the verb check. We check our phone, check messages, check emails. Don't say I see my phone or I look my messages. Those sound unnatural.
Good point. I also check my phone, but I try not to spend too much time on it. After breakfast, I brush my teeth again. Yes, twice in the morning. Once when I wake up and once after eating. This might surprise some people, but it's common in many English-speaking countries.
That's a great habit, Max. Now, the last thing I do before leaving home is grab my keys and wallet. Notice I said grab. G-R-A-B, grab. This is more natural than take my keys in this context. Grab suggests a quick, casual action.
Perfect. And I always check that I have everything I need. Keys, wallet, phone. We call these essentials. When you're learning English, try to use more natural, everyday words like grab and essentials instead of very formal language.
Absolutely. One last tip for our listeners. When talking about your morning routine, you can use time expressions like first, then, after that, finally. For example, first I wake up, then I make my bed. After that, I take a shower. Finally, I have breakfast.
Those connecting words make your English sound much more fluent and organized. So, listeners, that's our morning routine. Remember to practice these phrases and don't be afraid to adapt them to your own routine.
Now let's talk about our afternoons. This is usually the busiest part of our day. Max, what does your afternoon look like?
Well, my afternoon officially starts after lunch, around 1 p.m. I usually have lunch at my office, and notice I said have lunch, just like we discussed with breakfast. Now, here's a tip. If someone asks, "Where do you have lunch?" you can say at the office, at home, or at a restaurant. Don't say in my office unless you specifically eat inside your office room.
That's a subtle but important difference. I have lunch at home most days because I work from home. Now, work from home is a very common phrase nowadays. workfromhome. Don't say I work in home. That's incorrect. It's always work from home.
Great point, Mia. After lunch, I usually get back to work. We say get back to work when we return to working after a break. You can also say go back to work, but get back to work sounds more natural and energetic. Now, here's something important for learners. When talking about work, be specific, but not too detailed.
Exactly. If someone asks, "What do you do in the afternoon?" don't just say, "I work." That's too basic. But also, don't explain every single task. A good answer is, "I work at my office," or "I attend meetings and answer emails," or "I focus on my projects." Give 1 or 2 details, not 10.
Perfect advice. Now, during my work afternoon, I usually have meetings. We have meetings, attend meetings, or join meetings. Don't say make meetings unless you're organizing them. And here's a cultural tip. In English-speaking countries, it's normal to have short meetings, sometimes just 15 or 30 minutes.
That's true. I also have meetings, but since I work from home, they're usually video calls. Now, be careful with technology vocabulary. We say video call, conference call, or Zoom call. Don't say video meeting. While people might understand, video call sounds more natural.
Good distinction. Around 3 p.m., I usually take a coffee break. Notice I said take a break, not make a break or do a break. This is another fixed expression. You can take a coffee break, a lunch break, or just a break. Take a break. Take a break.
And during this break, I usually grab a snack. Remember grab from our morning routine? I grab a snack, which means I quickly get something small to eat. Common snacks are fruit, nuts, cookies, or crackers. When someone asks, "Do you eat between meals?" you can say, "Yes, I usually grab a snack in the afternoon."
Excellent. Now, here's something interesting about work culture. Many people check their personal messages during breaks. I quickly check my personal emails and maybe text my family. We text someone, not send text to someone. I text my mom is correct and natural.
That's right. And speaking of family, I often call my mom in the afternoon. We call someone, phone someone, or give someone a call. All are correct, but call is the most common. Don't say I make a call to my mom in casual conversation. Just say I call my mom.
Great tip. Now, in the late afternoon, around 4 or 5 p.m., I start wrapping up my work. Wrap up means to finish or complete something. WRAPUP, wrap up. You can wrap up work, wrap up a meeting, or wrap up a project. It's much more natural than saying, "I finish my work."
I love that expression. I also wrap up my work around 5 p.m. Now, here's an important question many people ask. What time do you finish work? Or, what time do you get off work? Both questions are asking the same thing, but get off work is more casual. You can answer, I finish at 5 or I get off at 5.
Perfect. And here's what not to say. Don't say, I stop working at 5. While grammatically correct, it sounds like you suddenly stop in the middle of something. I finish work or I get off work sound much more professional and natural.
After work, I usually run errands. Run errands, RUNERRANDS, means to do necessary tasks outside the home, like going to the bank, grocery shopping, or picking up dry cleaning. Don't say I do errands or I make errands. It's always run errands.
That's such useful vocabulary. I also run errands sometimes. Common errands include going to the post office, the pharmacy, or the grocery store. When someone asks, "What are you doing this afternoon?" you can say, "I need to run some errands," or "I have to run a few errands."
Exactly. Now, on days when I don't run errands, I might go to the gym. We go to the gym, work out at the gym, or simply work out. Don't say I make exercise. That's incorrect. Say I exercise, I work out, or I go to the gym.
Great distinction. I prefer going for a walk in the park. We go for a walk, not make a walk or do a walk. And here's a cultural note. In many English-speaking countries, people often walk just for exercise and fresh air, not necessarily to go somewhere specific.
Walking is great exercise. Now, listeners, when describing your afternoon activities, remember to use a variety of verbs. Don't just say I go for everything. Say I attend meetings, I grab lunch, I run errands, I work out. This makes your English sound much more advanced and natural.
Absolutely. And one last tip for this section. When people ask, "How was your afternoon?" don't just say good or fine. Try. It was productive. It was busy. Or it was relaxing. These adjectives give much more information and show better English skills.
Now let's move on to our evening routines. This is my favorite part of the day because I can finally relax. Max, what does your evening look like?
I love evenings too, Mia. First, let me clarify something important for our listeners. Evening typically starts around 6 p.m. and goes until you go to bed. Don't confuse evening with night. Night is when it's dark and most people are sleeping. So we say good evening until bedtime, then good night when someone is going to sleep.
Such an important distinction. Many learners get confused about this. Now, I usually get home from work around 6:30 p.m. We say get home, not arrive to home or reach home. Get home. GETHOME. And when someone asks, what time do you get home? You can simply say around 6:30 or usually by 7 p.m.
Perfect. When I get home, the first thing I do is change clothes. Now we can say change clothes, get changed, or change into something comfortable. Don't say, I change my clothes in casual conversation. That sounds too formal. Just I change clothes or I get changed.
Yes, I always change into comfortable clothes, usually sweatpants and a t-shirt. Now, here's a cultural note. In many English-speaking countries, people have different clothes for home and work. We call comfortable home clothes loungewear or just comfortable clothes. Don't call them house clothes. That sounds strange.
Great point. After changing, I usually prepare dinner. Now we prepare dinner, cook dinner, or make dinner. All three are correct, but they're slightly different. Prepare can include cooking and setting the table. Cook specifically means using heat to make food. Make is the most general. You can make a sandwich without cooking.
Excellent explanation. I prefer to cook dinner rather than order takeout. Order takeout means you call a restaurant and they bring food to your house. We can also say order delivery or get takeout. Don't say ask for takeout. That sounds unnatural. And here's a tip. Takeout is more American, while takeaway is more British.
That's a useful cultural difference. Now, while cooking, I often listen to music or podcasts. We listen to music, not hear music when it's intentional. Hear is passive. You hear sounds around you. Listen is active. You choose to pay attention to something.
Such a crucial distinction. I also listen to music while cooking. Now, when dinner is ready, I sit down to eat. Notice I said sit down to eat, not just sit to eat. This phrase means you're taking time to properly have a meal, not just grabbing a quick snack.
Perfect. And here's something about dinner conversation. If you live with family or roommates, dinner is often social time. Common questions are, how was your day? Or, what did you do today? When answering, give 2 to 3 highlights, not every single detail. For example, it was good. I had a productive meeting and grabbed lunch with a colleague.
That's great advice. After dinner, I usually wash the dishes. We wash dishes, do the dishes, or clean up the kitchen. All are correct. Don't say wash the plates unless you're only washing plates. Dishes includes plates, cups, utensils, everything.
Exactly. Now, here's where our evening routines differ. After cleaning up, I like to watch TV or read a book. We watch TV, not see TV, and we read a book, not read a reading. These might seem obvious, but many learners make these mistakes because of direct translation from their native language.
So true. I prefer to watch Netflix or YouTube videos. Now, when talking about streaming services, we say, I watch Netflix or I'm watching a series on Netflix. Don't say I look Netflix. That's incorrect. Also, we binge watch a series when we watch many episodes in a row. BINGEWATCH.
Binge watch is such modern vocabulary. I sometimes binge watch documentaries on weekends. Now, around 9 p.m., I start winding down. Wind down, WINDDOWN, means to gradually relax and prepare for sleep. You can wind down by reading, taking a bath, or doing gentle stretches.
I love that expression. I also wind down around 9 p.m. I usually take a hot bath or shower. Earlier, we talked about morning showers, but evening showers are different. They're for relaxation, not just cleanliness. You can say, I take a relaxing bath, or I have a hot shower to unwind.
Unwind is another great word for relaxing. After my shower, I usually check my phone one last time for any important messages. But here's important advice. Try not to spend too much time on your phone before bed. We say scroll through social media or check social media, not look social media.
That's excellent advice. Too much screen time before bed isn't good for sleep. Speaking of sleep, I usually go to bed around 10:30 p.m. Now, there's a difference between go to bed and go to sleep. Go to bed means you get into your bed, but you might read or relax first. Go to sleep or fall asleep means you actually start sleeping.
Such an important distinction. I go to bed at 10 p.m., but I don't fall asleep until 10:30 or 11 p.m. Before sleeping, I like to read for a few minutes or practice meditation. We practice meditation, not do meditation or make meditation. And reading before bed is called bedtime reading.
That sounds so peaceful. Now, here's a cultural note. In English-speaking countries, many people have a bedtime routine. This might include brushing teeth, washing face, changing into pajamas, and maybe reading or listening to calm music. When someone asks about your bedtime routine, you can describe 2 to 3 activities.
Exactly. And here's what to say when someone asks, "What time do you go to sleep?" You can say, "I usually go to bed around 10 p.m." or "I'm typically in bed by 10:30. Don't say, "I sleep at 10 p.m." That sounds like you immediately fall asleep at exactly that time.
Great. One last evening tip. When saying goodnight to family or friends, we say good night, sleep well, or sweet dreams. Good night is the most common. Don't say good sleeping or sleep good. Those are grammatically incorrect.
And remember, listeners, everyone's evening routine is different. Some people exercise in the evening. Some people work late. Some people socialize with friends. The key is using the right vocabulary and expressions for whatever you do in the evening.
Wow, Max! We covered so much vocabulary and so many useful tips today. From waking up in the morning to going to bed at night, we've given our listeners tons of practical English they can use every single day.
Absolutely, Mia. And that's the beauty of learning about daily routines. This isn't just vocabulary you'll use once. These are phrases and expressions you'll need every day when talking about your life in English.
Exactly. Now, listeners, remember what we always say. Don't try to memorize everything at once. Pick 3 or 4 new expressions from today's episode and practice using them this week. Maybe start with wake up versus get up, or take a shower and run errands.
Great advice. And don't forget to download that PDF transcript from the description below. Reading along while listening really helps with pronunciation and spelling. Plus, those practice questions will help you remember what you learned today.
And here's a challenge for you. Try describing your own daily routine using the vocabulary we taught today. You can write it down, record yourself, or even practice in front of a mirror. The more you use these expressions, the more natural they'll become.
Perfect challenge, Mia. And remember, if you found this episode helpful, please share it with other English learners. Learning is always better with friends.
Before we go, let us know in the comments, what's one thing from your daily routine that you learned how to say better today? We love hearing from our listeners.
And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We release new episodes every week with practical English lessons just like this one.
That's right. Next week, we'll be talking about hobbies and free time activities. Another super practical topic for everyday conversation.
Sounds amazing. So, from all of us here at Max and Mia Podcast,
thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
until then, keep practicing your English. And remember, every conversation is a chance to improve.
Bye, everyone.